Hello and welcome to Sisters Dealing with Real World Shit. Today we're changing it up and we're going to try something new. There's been a lot of things going on in the news and we just want to make sure that we all are informed on what's going on and we're going to give our little spin on it. Y'all ready?
Ready?
Yeah,
Let's get to it.
So I would like to talk about the George Floyd murder. So this week, the family got awarded $27 million for his death. And it really made me think, is my life only worth $27 million? It looks like a lot of money when you don't have millions and millions of dollars. But when you talk about a life, that's not a lot of money. You got your knee on somebody's neck and they're saying, I can't breathe. But you get a third-degree murder saying that you really didn't mean to do it. He heard that man screaming for his mama and that, he couldn't breathe. So I don't know how in the world he could get a third degree. And I think the thing about this that really bothered me is that I did some research today in the protest in America. In Washington, D.C., there was 194 people that got arrested. And in Minneapolis, there was 576 people that got arrested during the Black Lives Matter protests. During the insurrection, right after that, only 69 people got arrested. When you're fighting for something that's for African Americans, we just get put in jail. But when you're fighting for something that is a Caucasian type issue, they just let them go. And it's pretty sad what America has come to.
It just kind of puts things in perspective for you. Is my life really worth $27 million? Like, that's my price to make all of this okay. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so, there's not much to say about that. It's just, every time, when I think about it and if I'm talking about it, it's like, leaves me speechless every time because it shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I've been thinking a lot about the training because you said that he was getting into third degree, correct?
Yeah.
Which was like an accidental death. So, to my understanding, I'm pretty sure that his department felt like he did things the right way, even though his excessive force was not needed at all. There were so many different ways that he could have reprimanded him or not like that. I know George Floyd was a big dude, but he didn't have to do all that. So I just feel like, I don't know if he felt like his life was in danger or what, but I do feel like they kind of do need to kind of like retrain themselves on how to approach something like that instead of immediately going to the gun or immediately applying force.
I actually disagree with the training, and this is why. Oftentimes when you watch a video of a white man being approached by a police officer, I've seen videos where they'll have weapons in their hands. I've seen when they provoke the officer with like a knife. I've seen all kinds of videos where a white male is acting really crazy with the police officer and they're like, the police officer is really calm and telling, don't do that, calm down, running around the car with him. They're not as excessive with their own. So that's why I disagree. I don't think training is the answer. I think what we're seeing right now is that institutional racism is real.
Mm-hmm.
Racism in all walks of life is real. And unfortunately, they're going to treat you different because of the color of your skin.
It's just like that young kid that walked into that church, young white kid that walked into the church and killed all of those black people.
South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he walked right past them.
They arrested the kid. They said that the kid said he was hungry and they took him to McDonald's to get something to eat.
Yeah, they took him to Burger King.
What?
Yeah.
No, would they have taken us to anywhere to get some food? No.
And not only that, but you saw a lot of after that, that story, the news, the news is big on presenting stories that are similar to it. So you started seeing a lot of black men being killed left and right And it's like, okay, what's the point? Why are they actually a threat to you? Just like the black man that died in Georgia. He just happened to drink too much and he told a police officer, hey, I just need to relax for a second. He had 2 children and a wife that he was trying to get home to. He chose not to drive his car. And the police officer, instead of helping him or taking him home, what did he do? He killed him. He didn't do anything. So I'm saying that, yes, training is not enough. I'd rather have black men and women that are police officers in our community, because at least they feel more comfortable around us. They know that we're not a threat because they're one of us.
Yeah.
You know?
And something that I've realized like over the last 8 to 10 years is how they portray, like how the media portrays the victims that are black males versus,
Right.
The actual shooter at times.
Yeah.
Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, like all of those people, they basically criminalized them, like created this whole, like, oh, like he's a drug dealer, oh, he's in a gang, like all these different things that shouldn't even matter, like,
Right.
but they were, the media, I think, changes the perspective on a lot of different stuff because of how they present it.
Yeah, even Breonna Taylor. Even Breonna Taylor was a victim of that. Like, even though she was literally just sleeping in her bed, the media depicted it as like she was, I guess, gang related, like drug related, because I guess her boyfriend was tied to it to some degree. I'm not really exactly sure, but it was the wrong house anyway. So yeah, I remember the media was depicting her as like,
horrible person,
ghetto drug related case.
Yep.
And
I mean, it's like character assassination. That's exactly what it is.
And I don't see them doing that with like other historical white,
like why can't they do that with, most of the white cops that have shot all these black people? Like, I don't understand. Like, they need to keep the same energy. I don't see that a lot.
Because that would mean that would make the police department just as bad as they are for accepting it.
That's deep. Yeah.
And even thinking about the story that just happened with the white male in Georgia who killed those 8 people. Did y'all hear what the sheriff said?
No.
Oh, he was having a bad day. So this white man that killed 8 people was having a bad day, and that's an excuse?
So if he was black?
A bad day? No. Yeah, if he was black, it would have been different.
As mothers, I know 3 of your mothers, like, how does that make you all feel, knowing that your kids are growing up, or even just living in a society like this, where we have to worry about that?
That's why we as mothers have to pray.
You ain't lying.
Pray every day.
Pray
Each
every
time you
day.
go out, you pray for your child. Make sure he or she come home, and you just hope for the best.
I am so tired of talking about this. When are we going to stop talking about this and get some action in place? I'm tired of talking about the way white people treat me bad and all this other stuff. And I'm sick of it. I want somebody to do something about it. I'm sick of talking about it.
You know what, though? What I've learned over the couple of years, like living in the community that I live in, I've watched them actually come together. They'll make a plan and they'll go to the city hall. Like, they know the process to get things changed. Our communities don't necessarily know that. We're learning it, but I don't think, I think it's foolish for us to think that someone else is going to come and save us. The only people that are going to save us are black people. And we have to say, okay, enough is enough. Start getting the petitions together, continue to protest, keep putting money behind, organizations like Black Lives Matter. It's our responsibility. It really is. I just don't see any other way.
I agree.
I think it really goes to the old adage, or what they used to say, it really does take a village. And that's really what it's going to take.
We want to show everyone that we matter just as much as anyone else does. Like, our lives should be just as valuable, not more or less, just the equal amount of value, of value. Because for many, many generations, our ancestors have been told that
they're nothing. They're less than nothing, or they don't have any kind of life worth valuable or worth living. So this day and age, I think it's a good thing that we have Black Lives Matter, because for the very first time, we're actually fighting for our lives and fighting to prove to people that we are valuable and that we are, worth
more than 27 million.
Okay, yeah, more than 27 million.
Worth more than that.
I don't agree with the 27 million. I felt like it should be a lot higher than that. I don't know why it's that low.
It's low
Especially with
because they
how
don't
he
value
died.
our lives. They don't value
Right.
us. They just throw them, throw a dog a bone. They'll be happy with that because that's not something that they've ever had.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about in terms of institutional racism. Like in order for us to get what we want, we have to fight for it continuously. Not
Mhm.
just for a day or 2 days or for a month. We have to keep fighting until we get it. And
Mhm.
it's going to be exhausting. Like, I'd rather be exhausted fighting for something that I know is right for our future children and children's children than sit back and keep going through this. So even with the whole Derek Chauvin situation, him getting 3rd-degree murder, I want to know where I would like to do some research and figure out who has an actual who's written a letter and is getting people to actually sign it, a petition, so we can say this is not enough. Y'all need to change this. This is not right. He needs to go to jail on 2nd degree because he intentionally did that. We want to move on to our next subject, which I believe is close to institutional racism. Before the pandemic, they have been stating how far behind Black Americans were to white Americans in terms of financials. Most white Americans, they have some type of passed down wealth, whether it's in a house, in some type of trust or life insurance, whatever. It's a lot that we need to do for ourselves. And with the stimulus check coming up, Pamela, what do you think we should be doing with that money?
Man, with the stimulus check, a lot of people that are receiving a stimulus check, I know with COVID, they were behind in bills, rent. Pay your rent up. Please pay your rent up so you do not have to worry about the landlord not knocking on your door talking about get out because you didn't handle your responsibilities. That stimulus is meant to give you a boost and to boost the economy. Not to be out here at Walmart putting 5 TVs in your cart, of which you done just bought TVs with the last stimulus. Don't be going out here buying bundles. Don't be going out buying bundles of hair. And you know that your kids got to be eating this, that, and the other. True, yes, you do get a stimulus check for your children as well. But again, do not be sitting around knowing that school, you got other stuff coming up. Save it for an emergency. Have a savings account. Put it away for a rainy day. You don't know what you might need it for. If you can invest it, that's fine. Don't invest all of it. A small portion, maybe. But the remainder, put it in your savings account. You don't know what's going to happen with COVID, when it's going to be over. If you're not working, you don't know when you're going to go back to work. And they might just cut off unemployment tomorrow. And yet you out here balling like you ain't got nothing else. Stop it.
You know what? I was in front of Walmart yesterday and I thought to myself, why are these people coming out of here with these big screen TVs? I mean, I saw like 10 carts just rolling out with big screen TVs. And I'm like, it's not Christmas. I'm thinking, what the world is going on? Oh, now I figured it out.
Preparing for
Everybody
Easter?
using their stimulus check.
No.
I just realized that.
Yeah, it was. I saw at least 10 people rolling out of Walmart yesterday with big screen TVs.
Because I saw a guy with
start rolling out, taking these trips to Florida just so you can have fun on the spring break to come back with COVID. You trying to kill everybody up? Okay.
Dang.
I don't get
That's
it.
part of the issue. A lot of times as Black people, because we weren't taught financially how to grow our money or what to do with it, that's all we know is to spend it. Oh, let me go get the latest J's. Let me go get this TV. Let me go get these bundles. You know, let me go get what I desire versus learning to actually invest. I don't know about y'all, but I put mine in the stock market. I was like, I'd rather just act like I don't even have this money. It's, you know, it's extra. Let me just put it on in there, and it's growing like wildfire. So if you haven't done anything, I suggest you learn how to put it in the stock market.
I mean, I'm seeing people online say, hey, I just paid off my credit cards.
That's
or
good.
I just paid my rent up for a year. Kudos to you. Because that's being responsible.
Yeah.
For everybody else is going out here buying TVs, unnecessary stuff that's going to break down, buying vehicles that you know going to break down. Oh, I got me a foreign. So you know you got to fix that foreign when it break down, right?
And the taxes on it.
Yeah, I do see a lot of cars out there with new tags on it, stuff like that. The other
Buying
day,
it now to get repoed
I
within
was
2
driving
months.
by one. It looked like it had just got off the little lot and broke down before they could even get to the highway. I said, Lord have mercy. With the new tag and it's on the side.
And you have to realize though that people know people's behavior. So like people will start airing commercials and ads to get those people into stores to spend that money. So it's almost, you have to reprogram your mind to be like, no, actually I need to do this with this money. Yes, they're trying to get it, but I don't need those things. But I don't necessarily blame like, you know, the culture, because the culture is there for us to have our money taken, literally. So it's like, it's a bigger issue. It's like, it's literally mind control of some sort. And until you reprogram your mind, you're going to continue to do the same behavior.
I agree with that.
I so agree with you on that, because when I walked into Walmart yesterday, the big screen TVs was sitting right there in the middle of the floor with a $248 sign on it. And they just standing there, just passing them down. I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. But I agree with what you're saying. They got them right there in the middle of the floor, so you can't pass them.
Y'all see those E-Trade commercials?
Yes.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way. That's my motivation. Yes, E-Trade, that will be me. Jada and Jocelyn, speaking of investments, let's talk a little bit about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
Okay. Yeah. So, Akira, I believe that you actually mentioned this a little while ago. You said that you invested in it already. And you said, how much have you made?
I only invested $125 because I'm still figuring it out. I've made $20. This is something I'm looking for my children and children's children to enjoy. And I also invested in Dogecoin, DOGE, and it started to take off. Snoop Dogg is calling himself Snoop Doge. Mark started accepting the Dogecoin for Mavericks games.
I need to try that one.
Yeah, y'all need to get that DOGE coin, and you can get it on Robinhood. I don't think you can get on. I got Bitcoin on Cash App, but
that's what I've been using.
Yeah, I don't think. You can get off of Robinhood.
And so, you know what I heard? Okay, so from a lot of finance experts, they were saying that this year, 2021, is literally the best time right now to buy into cryptocurrency because it's at its all-time lowest. I mean, obviously, you know, gets up in value, but I mean, there's a reason why we have some rappers like Tory Lanez who have sold their albums, you know, using just Bitcoin, you know, and I feel like at 2021, like in the year that we're in and the month that we're in, I mean, we just keep hearing more and more about it. So I think that there's some real validity to that.
Definitely.
And so yeah, I'm definitely planning on investing myself pretty soon, and I'll let you know how if I get somewhere. But yeah, I agree with you, Kara. Like there is, I mean, I'm not surprised at how many, you know, celebrities are buying in now.
I can say this, there are some companies online that prefer to use Bitcoin as a payment.
Yeah. This PayPal, I believe, is one of the companies that's taking it. Tesla, I believe, said that they're signing up for it or are already signed up. I'm not sure. I have to check. It is like you're starting to see, even it's called BitPay, I believe, which is like their ATM systems. And that now, y'all want to get into stock. Once that comes out, y'all need to get it.
Yeah.
What is that?
BitPay, BIT Pay. That's going to be the ATM for Bitcoin. What's the other one? It's another one. I can't think of it right now.
And I know like this year,
because with BitPay, there are some ATMs that you are starting to use Bitcoin as a form of currency too. Yeah.
I guess it's strange now because I know that they were starting to build, or maybe other restaurants like in New York, like in the larger cities, where they could literally pay the restaurant, using Bitcoin. They get coffee and everything like that, and they just use Bitcoin to pay for all that. Groceries too. So I know it's heading in that direction.
I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't buy anything with my Bitcoin right now. I'm saving it. I think, I don't know if you heard about the young man back in, I think it was 2013 or 2014. That was when Bitcoin first came out, and they were laughing at him because he told the pizza delivery boy that he would give him 5 Bitcoins for pizza. Do y'all know how much that's worth today?
A lot.
50 grand with 5 Bitcoins be.
Notice
exactly.
Right now,
like 50 grand?
One Bitcoin is worth $57,456.
Wow.
5.
Like I said, Bitcoin is stronger than the dollar.
Don't spend don't spend no Bitcoin. You invest in it and let it be something that you just hold on to for the future. I would not spend it right now. It's just like you said with the stimulus check, Tanika, people out there trying to get your money some type of way, like Bitcoin, hold on to it. Do not let it go.
What I would suggest, even if you got cash out, take $50 every so often, just put it in your Bitcoin. Don't touch it. Just add to it every so often. And just let it build up.
I'm sitting here laughing about it. Okay, I guess I'm laughing about it. I'm like, well, hell, I remember the same damn thing they said about them Beanie Babies. We were standing in line forever trying to get Prince die and the Europe Bear and all this other crap. Now I got Beanie Babies out the yang, and they ain't went up to shit. I'm like,
only the super duper rare ones are actually.
Bitcoins turned out better than them damn Beanie Babies did. Okay, but they ain't putting out a one damn child through college yet.
But I'm gonna tell you why Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is amazing. It's because the currency is something that you can use worldwide. It's not like an American thing or a Chinese thing or an African thing. It's literally for everybody. So even those third world countries that have Bitcoin, they can use it to purchase things. It's not like they're controlled anymore by their local banking systems.
Okay. All right.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. That sounds better than Beanie Babies. Okay.
I want to cover one more topic. Tanika, you lead us off with the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry story.
Well, I can start off with saying I was not surprised. I think that hearing that there was racism in that, royal court was expected. That is an institution that is eons old. And if you're going for something that was created years and years and decades ago, of course there's going to be racism there. And she's the first one. Like, they're not used to having a Black person, quote unquote, almost infiltrate their structure. So I think the most interesting part for me was like her saying like, I dealt with racism all my life, and, this was a whole nother level. But I think like within our community, like there is colorism. So for me to hear like, oh, now you're actually dealing with this, like when you're dealing with royal families, like Black is Black, whether you're a darker skinned brown woman or a light skinned brown woman. So I think that may have been a wake up call for her. But for me, I'm like, that didn't surprise me. What was surprising was them asking about, the skin color of the baby and
Of the
Oprah.
baby.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot. But I do like, commend her husband for taking a stance and staying with his wife and saying, hey, like, I care about you. Like, I'm going to put you before this whole institution over here that I've been a part of for my whole life because I was born into it. Like, that's huge that he stuck by her side.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with his mom because I actually watched a whole documentary on the entire British royal family back to when it started in the beginning. And apparently they're literally all German, literally. So like they're not really from the UK. Like that's where their lineage is. Wow. But basically, seriously, basically what I was told about the royal family was they weren't really allowed to marry anyone that would like threaten the monarchy, because like you said, there's a very, very strict hierarchy. They do not deviate from it. People who become princess or princes, they have to be a direct lineage to the person. So I guess in regards to Harry's little baby, I think he was denied a title. But
he was denied
two different things.
Prince.
Yes, because technically Harry is not the one in line. William actually is supposed to be before him. So that's why his kids are princess and prince versus Harry's kids doesn't have the title at all.
His kids will go before the brother's kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, technically William is next in line before him. So that's one of the reasons why Meghan Markle and Harry Harry's kids don't have titles. But I also wanted to mention
prince.
Yes,
he will never see, no title.
He ain't gonna never see it. Harry did have a title only because, like I said, Diana and Prince Charles, that's their kids. Prince Charles is a direct descendant of the Queen. So that's honestly the only reason why Harry and William have titles, because of Prince Charles.
Okay.
But in regards to why Harry sticks with Meghan Markle, I think it has a lot to do with Princess Diana coming into the royal family as an outsider. Number one, she was an outsider. She was not born of that life. Number two was very, very different from the protocol of the royal family. Like I said, the royal family, they have a very strict way of doing things. Like they don't touch, they don't really interact as much with the media versus Princess Diana. She was shaking everybody's hand. She was very personal, very, she was the people's princess for that reason. But unfortunately, she was kind of hounded by the media and about I think even her own people were kind of like condemning her, saying that she may have ruined the hierarchy, and well into the day that she died, because I think Prince Harry thinks that no one protected her, as in like not even Prince Charles did, not even the Queen did. She was constantly getting scrutinized and almost getting pretty much like just trash, just like Meghan Markle is.
Yes.
So I think that's why whenever Prince Harry said, I don't want to repeat history, because it seemed like Meghan Markle was already going through that path, that just like Princess Diana did. She's an outsider. She didn't know anything about the royal protocol, and in a sense, she did drive a wedge between, the hierarchy, just like Princess Diana did. So,
but when she went to her husband and said that she felt like killing herself, my heart just really went out to her, because you could tell in her eyes that she was telling the truth. She was telling the truth about what happened to her. You could tell when she said it, they were so worried about the color of my child's skin, and that just really, really hurt my feelings right there when she said that. I was like, who in the world? This is a baby. Who in the world would be
I'm gonna
so
be honest with you.
ridiculous?
I'm like,
I'm gonna be
Well,
honest with you. You know, there's a lot of people that when they have children, that what's the first thing they look at?
the ears.
The ears,
the eyes.
and the nose.
Oh, really?
The ears.
Yes.
The ears?
You know how dark your child is going to be.
That is true.
Mm,
That's very true.
I definitely feel for Meghan, and I really, really love the fact that she was brave enough and courageous enough to truly be vulnerable and state her piece and state, what her truth was, her intentions within, being a part of the whole family. I mean, the only thing I don't necessarily believe is when she said that she didn't know anything about the family before they
Thank you.
met.
agree.
I don't think
Yeah,
I do
part,
not believe
no,
that.
And if
Everybody
she
knows who
didn't,
that
I didn't
family
believe that.
was
That's a
at
problem.
all.
Like you're married to a royal family. You didn't have like the
She knew what
audacity
it
to look up
was.
to see what you were getting yourself into. Because
Yeah,
we
I
can
don't
Google
believe
it and see
that.
there's a lot of racism. Like it's obvious. So I just feel like we do that as normal women. Like,
Right.
oh, let me look up this guy that I'm with. Like that's just normal behavior. And you're telling me you
Right.
didn't
We're
look
from
up
the
somebody
FBI.
who,
Like we work for the FBI. That's how thorough we are, So I
right,
was like,
exactly.
there's no way. There's no way. And the thing is, okay, let me ask you this. Okay. Do you feel like let's say if Harry was with a darker woman, would she be anywhere near that man? Would she have gotten that far? Yes. Because I
No.
personally don't.
No.
I
Absolutely
personally
not. They
don't.
would have broke them up.
Mm-hmm.
You
No.
just
Because her
think
skin tone's very light, and to be honest, if I didn't know her family background, I probably would not have thought she was black. I would have thought, she might have been anything else, like maybe white or, but to me, she's racially ambiguous, so me looking at her, like, she doesn't look like phenotypically like a black woman.
Yeah. That's why I found that interesting. Because normally, like, you don't hear, people of lighter skin tones that look like her saying, I suffered from racism. Like, this is what I dealt with. Like, normally that's like a brown girl problem. So it was very interesting to see that, okay, this woman who probably was like, raised as like this exotic looking person. So praise and raised as like, nah, you're actually just a black woman, just like everybody else.
Like, it was very out of touch for them. It was very sensitive for them to even like put and that distasteful. It was very distasteful. So I understood why I was like, I wouldn't want to talk to them either.
Wow.
Ladies, do you have any last minute words that you want to add?
I would like to say happy birthday to my mother.
Happy birthday, grandmother.
Happy birthday. She looked good too for her age. Like, she looking good.
She's a diva, honey. What can I say?
This is the end to our show for this week for Sisters Dealing with Real World Shit.